I am Chris Kaler.
And I'm Amber Frost with Kyuujin Cosplay, and today we're back at you guys with the OC, episode 15, season 1.
The third wheel.
Third wheel. Last episode we watched New Year, guys.
Yes, it was New Year's. There was a lot of potential problems for couples, and it ended up being fine for a lot of them.
Yeah.
Most of them. All of them. So that's cool. Anna made a move on Seth at the end. They are kissing and they seem to be close, so hopefully that can be settled. But then Summer also admitted that, you know, she's set on having Seth. She's not capable of moving forward, you know, without him. So
she's in love with Seth.
It's gonna be sad for one of them, unfortunately, so we'll have to see how that happens. Ryan and Marissa said, "I love you," and he said, "Thank you." He got awkward real fast. He didn't know if he wanted to say it, if he could say it. He wasn't sure about his feelings, but then after some help from his brother, he basically ran all the way to a party where Marissa was to confirm that he loved her too. That was pretty cool.
And she said thank you back.
Yeah, they laughed about it. And Sandy and Kirsten tried to make things interesting in a relationship, and even though they didn't go all the way with the interesting thing, it seemed to have worked. It confirmed that they do love each other.
Yeah,
so that's
they're in a
fun.
good place, so that's fun. That's nice.
Oh, and Kirsten's sister is in town. I don't know if she'll still be here, but she was there last episode, so
We'll see.
we'll see. So yeah, that was a fast recap, but that was what happened last episode.
So let's drive into it, guys.
Let's go.
Haley is always in the living room, all right? Marissa's always in here. Look at me. I'm lost. Okay, what happened to Seth Ryan time? That was quality time.
Okay, I know I've been a little bit,
Whipped?
I'm not whipped. Free to talk now, what's up?
Hey, squeezing me in before school. Nice, I like that, but actually I'll take it. Okay, here's the thing. Anna and I have decided to take it to the next level, and I need some advice.
You're gonna have sex.
No, that's a good idea, though. We're gonna tell Summer. We've become friends now, and I feel like I don't know if I want to see
Hey, you guys
I'm in the same situation with the girls. You know, I'm like, I don't want any of them to hurt.
You know, hunting and shaving.
You and me, tonight.
Come on.
Someone's gonna be sad, but I think she would prefer for you to be honest and tell her that you're dating Hannah, you know?
Yeah, she'd like him to be honest, but it's gonna hurt her, and that's what he doesn't want to do. And by the way, Seth, there's nothing wrong with spending time with your girlfriend. If Ryan wants to spend time with Marissa, it's his right. That doesn't mean he's being whipped.
So, did you guys have the talk?
Yes. We almost did. I'll find out if she has a plan.
Well, you know what her plan is. She's gonna stay here and mooch off us until she can go make a withdrawal from the bank of Dad, and then she'll take off again for a couple of years.
Bunch of bagels.
That fixes everything.
Yes, it does.
Obsessed to me. It's a start.
Makes things easier.
So yeah, now I'm broke and sleeping at my sister's.
Hey, I'm broke, and my wife is sleeping with your father. Fantastic.
We really did well for ourselves.
Who knew back in the day when Kirsten and I were babysitting? Oh, it feels like we never have any time alone anymore.
Oh, that's not true. We have moments.
I want more moments.
God, they're so wet.
Oh my god.
Pick up Marissa. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes.
Yes.
Jimmy and I were gonna hang out tomorrow night. Catch up. Hang out, like, out?
I bet you have a lot to catch up on.
Hang out all night. Don't come back. Leave us alone.
Go live at his place, even.
Got a flat tire?
Oh.
You ran over now? Somebody said.
I like that they're keeping this friendship.
Got a spare in the bag.
Yes, I'm all for this. I was for this in the first few episodes.
Sure, he'd like to bend over.
Fuck you.
New Year's resolution. Punch people less. That's the same one. I think I'm getting what I deserve after all these years of being a jackass. Definitely.
I mean, he's admitting it.
Hey, just get out of here.
He said it first.
Go, bring that tackle! Go, yeah!
Nice PlayStation for the sports games. Listen to me. He said Seth Ryan time. Okay, this isn't Seth Ryan time. This is Seth Luke Ryan time. And you know what? Guess what? There's no such thing as Seth Luke Ryan time.
So it could be third wheel in this way too.
Some kids at school slashed his tires.
Damn it. What do you think he wants on his pizza?
It's a good thing he's a good guy.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hey,
Hey.
I'm at Oliver's. And you just ordered way too much food. He asked me to call you, see if you want to come by.
You're at Oliver's.
Well, Summer had plans, and then I saw Oliver at therapy, and he said if I wanted... That's so good.
It's Moroccan. What's Moroccan?
The food. Just come, okay? See you soon.
So many third wheels. With this situation though, the problem will be, is he gonna be the third wheel with Oliver
How do you guys
and
feel about
Marissa?
Moroccan?
Oh, they're all gonna tag along?
That guy.
Oh.
Dude, I cannot believe you live in a penthouse, man. This place is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's always been my fantasy to live in a hotel. Like Eloise.
Yeah, well, I guess. But let's let parents travel so much you can kind of get a little lonely.
He does seem to be living here, so it could just be that Anna didn't know.
Opening a new hotel in Paris.
I love Paris. I could spend all day walking the Champs-Elysees.
I like Paris. I love baguettes.
Dude, French chicks don't even shave their armpits.
You ever been to Paris, Ryan?
It's not true.
Nope.
No, not yet. I hear the Louvre's cool. No, do not go near that place. Totally overrated. The Mona Lisa's like the size of a postage stamp. Now the Rodin Museum.
That's true,
Picasso.
but the rest is fine.
You know where my family's been? Switzerland. Snowboarding the Alps is unreal. You boarded the Alps?
Stop flashing.
Yeah. I think right now Ryan,
Oh, my family's got a place.
Ryan's feeling like the fifth wheel between all of those rich kids.
Oh, he's already having problems, you know, accepting that he's now part of this crowd. And the guy, like, no matter if he's telling you the truth or lies, he seems to be showing a lot of money. You know the type of guy who likes to say, I'm rich as fuck, so he can get friends? It sounds like this.
Excuse me, are you on the list? Yeah, we're with Oliver Trask. Who's Oliver Trask? You don't have his name? No, I don't have his name. I've never heard his name. That's why I'm asking who's Oliver Trask.
Thanks, you've been very helpful.
I'm just gonna call him and see where he is.
You know,
You could have lied about his name.
I would not even be surprised if he's not living at the penthouse, but just crashing into the penthouse.
Hey! I hope you guys aren't waiting for me.
Summer?
Cohen? Hey, Anna. Summer!
Why are you here?
Who are you talking to?
Just go straight to voicemail.
Hey, jump along, Anna. Will you ride with me?
Wait, you guys want to give up so early? Maybe I can grease a few palms.
Hey! There you guys are. What's up, man?
Hi.
What happened? I thought I said backdoor.
No, you didn't.
Man's here. It's all happening.
What up, guys? Looking forward to the show? Thank you. Yeah.
I guess we're on time.
Which one's rooting?
They're all ruining.
Hey, man, this is my posse.
Luke is a state of mind.
So, where's Natalie?
Yeah, we had another fight. This whole long distance thing's tough.
I cannot trust him.
Hey, no.
It's too suspicious. I will feel like an asshole if it's all true, but I'd rather be cautious.
First step team on whenever I saw him at Haley's programs.
Really?
Hey, guys.
Bad.
Just on time.
I knew she was gonna hang out here.
Doctor?
What's up? I just thought that you were going out tonight. We were. But then I found out there's a Golden Girls Marathon on Lifetime, and I decided to dig up all my favorite board games.
We're having a throwback to the old babysitting days.
Why don't you guys join us?
Go to a hotel or something.
That would be great.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I love this episode. This is the one where Rose adopts the pig.
She adopted the pig?
Go to a hotel. Leave the house.
Is it wise? Oh, Jimmy is there. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, man. Yeah, I thought your boiler was supposed to be here like an hour ago. No, I don't care who you send. All right, just make sure it's good and it gets here quick. All right.
He was at a therapist's office. He does have issues. He said he was, and in the recap, they flashed to be clean and sober for a while. Maybe not that clean.
I have a show home waiting for me in the morning. Just what Orange County needs. Another one of Dad's show homes.
airlifted from the McMansion factory and dropped from the sky.
The one on the bluff that you mentioned, that's a great house.
Yeah, if by great you mean overbuilt, overpriced, and exactly like this one.
Oh, nice. You're living in our home. You're insulting my wife. You're driving my whole family crazy.
Is this true?
Yeah. And we all know what you're doing here.
Why don't we just stop?
No, honey, stop protecting her. You're not even nice to Kirsten, and she is the only reason why we're putting up with you.
Well, you won't have to put up with me for much longer, okay?
He said it maybe harshly, but he made a lot of points, good points.
Sorry?
She is taking for granted everything that they're doing. And she keeps insulting her way of life.
True.
Oh
my God.
Hey man, you know who sings this song? Rudy!
She's a recent fan.
Luke,
Oh man.
fanboy Luke is such a spirit animal, guys.
I like this side of him.
Man, get up! Hey, get up! Cop!
What? It's gotta be some kind of mistake.
Yeah, his. Just trying to buy 3 grams of coke from me.
Go back inside. Don't tell anyone.
See, weirdly enough, when it comes down to issues with this guy, I'd rather have this than the I'm trying to get into Marissa's pants and ditch Ryan.
It's not really better.
It's not better, but it's something that I can deal with because it doesn't mess with other people's relationships.
Yeah.
It just makes him a tragic character, not an asshole.
So you're a couple?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
That is, we wanted to tell you first before we officially became a couple, which I guess we are.
So you chose Anna?
You. Kind of, yeah. She came over on New Year's Eve. Well, you know how these things go.
She's being calm about it.
Okay. Well, congrats.
Inside she's hurt.
I feel like inside it's not the same, yeah.
Can we still hang out? Will you be cool with that?
So we both really like that if we could hang out.
Yeah.
Sure. You guys,
She's gonna
we can
look.
totally hang out. I mean, in fact, what are you guys doing right now?
I don't trust this.
Well, she's all preppy, but
Like, if she is actually fine with it, it's not gonna stay like
No.
that.
she's not fine with it. Just look at her.
I'm gonna finish up your paperwork. You sit tight. I'll be right back.
Thanks. Seth's dad seems cool. So why'd you do this for me?
Because Marissa
And
cares.
you don't even like me, man.
I don't really know you.
Well, if it's any consolation, I don't like myself very much right now either. So what happened? I don't know. Natalie didn't show. And then I saw you and Marissa. Your friends. Then it hit me. I have no one. My parents are gone. My friends, they all disappeared when I got clean. And now there's Marissa. Seth likes her taste in music. And Luke pretty much likes everybody at this point. What about you? I mean, you must like me a little to get me out of jail.
No, that was Sandy.
But you call Sandy. You made the call.
I mean, if he's a potential future actual friend, I'm fine with this.
You gonna tell her?
I'm more fine with this than I would have been with the potential,
The other
you know.
version, yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa!
I
I can't have half.
There are other bagels.
Not salt bagels.
You know why that is? Because you ate them all, and several sesame.
I haven't been the best guest. I know. And what you said tonight,
Oh, hey, Connect 4 was happening. It gets my blood up.
you were right.
So what's the plan? We'll hit Caleb up for more cash, and then what?
You know, I see how happy you guys are, and I think, why can't I have that?
But you don't want it.
How do you know what I want? I don't even know what I want.
You could stay here. I mean, not here exactly, but, you know, Get a home. A job. Settle down.
See, that's the thing. All I know is what I don't want.
Well, that's not entirely true.
It's great. Because his wife loves her sister, you know? Kirsten loves her sister, and she was not going to be okay with her just disappearing. So he has to make efforts. Just like Ryan made efforts with Oliver, too. He's just forgetting everything
I'm
moving
so glad
on.
we all can hang out
Girl.
together like this, aren't you guys?
She's
So doing it on purpose. Did Marissa told him where she lived?
Well, what is he doing here? Well, it's sad. Like, I take it as a sad thing that he still feels out of the group, you know? Although I would say if Luke managed to get in, you can do whatever you want. But, okay. The Oliver thing. I was nervous at first that he was playing a double game. You know, we had these suspicions that he was lying about who he was or lying about his intentions, lying about his girlfriend. It's still not completely, you know, out of my mind that it could be a situation like that. But then I feel like this entire episode was about us not trusting him and then figuring out that he's just a kid with issues.
Yeah.
You know? And I don't wish this on anyone, but I still meant it when I said I'd rather him have, you know, this problem instead of him being an asshole trying to destroy Marissa's, you know, relationship with Ryan, because then I can actually root for him and I can actually like the character still. You know, I was thinking about one thing when I watched the scene in the prison, and I think the reason why I don't trust him is because he reminds me of Chris Keller from 1-3-L. And
Yeah,
no, my YouTube name does not come from Chris Keller on 1-3-L.
It's not the same actor, right?
No, it's not the same actor, but he
But
reminds me of
him.
him.
Reminds me of the same character too, yeah.
It's I don't know. It's the same kind of cheerfulness and same hairstyle, and you know, and Chris Keller was an issue when it came to couples and stuff on the show. So I'm like, maybe that's why I don't trust him, because he's been too into Marissa from the beginning. But then maybe he's just like he said to Ryan, he's just a lonely kid who doesn't have anyone and wishes to have friends, and he's just, you know, I was saying in the episode that he reminds me of a guy that will flaunt his money in order to have friends. Like, he's showing how great of a guy he is. You know, I'll get you passes for this concert and behind the scenes, and you know, we'll travel and shit, just so that he can keep them around, because it's all about money, or he's been taught that it's all about money and that people don't really care about his true feelings. And he, you know, he goes to therapy and he has issues, and maybe he doesn't have anyone in his life that cares enough to help him deal with those issues. So that's why, instead of speaking, you know, of being himself and trying to actually make great connections with these people, he shows them his money, which is not necessarily his money, but then he shows them what he thinks will make them stay. If that's the case, like if that's the entire truth about this guy, it's a very sad truth, and I do pity him a lot, and that last shot is really sad, and I hope it's... That's the thing, I don't want this to be the case because it's a bad situation for him, but then I'd rather this be the situation than him being an asshole. I hope it doesn't lead to anything sad or tragic or anything. Like, I'd like, if he is a nice guy, like we think he is from this episode, I'd like him to learn how to open up to these guys, to this group, and learn how to include himself and just chill.
Because you did say that basically him and Ryan have so much more in common than both of them think. Both of them got shitty parents. It doesn't matter that they're not from the same background. Shitty parents are shitty parents, you know?
And, you know, they both had problems with justice and stuff because of stupid decisions that they can't really, you know... In this case, it's addiction. He did, you know... He has to deal with it now, and he did, you know, choose to try and buy some drugs, but then it's so much more than just it's your fault for buying drugs, you know. When it's become an addiction, it's withdrawal. The emotions are stuck in the whole thing, and if the whole thing with his girlfriend is true, then he was heartbroken and he was, you know, dealing with a shitty situation, and then he saw people that, you know, were enjoying themselves in a good relationship, having friends, having fun, and he felt left out, and that's when he turned to drugs. Yeah. I do think it's a bit, you know, there's a bit that it's a little bit creepy that he just ended up being at the house at the end. I'm like, what? But did he even know?
That's what I'm wondering, because they don't seem to know that he was there.
No, they don't know. So why is he here?
So I just want to make sure. Did Marissa tell them where she lived?
Maybe.
No, because that's Ryan instead house.
Yeah, but they're neighbors.
Oh yeah, true.
So I don't know. Like it could. I don't know. So that's a bit suspicious. But then just taking into consideration the whole I'm alone, my parents are not, you know, around, I don't have friends that actually care about me. He looks at them having fun and just meddling, and he feels left out. That's sad. So I did not want to trust the guy in the first few episodes we met him. I thought they were setting him up to be an asshole who would put, you know, it would create issues between Marissa and Ryan, and he did create issues. Just so far it hasn't been as bad as it could have, so
yeah,
I'll allow myself to trust that what he said this episode was right, and he's just a tragic character.
I'm still gonna put him in the maybe box. Like I don't know what's gonna happen with him. If all the issues is just regarding him and his addiction, or if he's more of a shitty character than we.
But I did say I was gonna feel like a shitty person if he turned out to be just a good friend, you know. So I'm starting, you know, to go there. It's beginning to sound like I was the asshole who judged him. But then I'd rather be careful in a show like this and not trust anyone than have, you know, our hearts broken because we trusted a guy who turned out to be an asshole.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Okay. Summer.
The whole Luke thing, though, by the way. He used to be an asshole, and then now he got a massive hit of modesty, and he got put back in his place. It's not something I envy. It's not something I wish on anyone, but then he needs to deal with the consequences, and now he seems to be realizing that he was an asshole, and he said it himself. So karma's a bitch.
Character growth. That's nice.
Karma's a bitch, but then he seems to be doing fine, you know, with being friends with Ryan and Seth, and including himself in the group.
Yeah,
and forcing the relationship.
You mean imposing himself on the group, but it's
you know,
fine.
He's the example of a third wheel who's not aware of being a third wheel, which cannot happen, you know. Yeah. But I'm actually fine with this. I think it's nice to see this side of him. And we always saw potential in a character from, you know, that first time when he saved Ryan in the house. We saw that he was maybe more than just an asshole, and then he had setbacks, but he always, you know, pushed through as a character. So I'm actually happy that he's enjoying himself with the main gang. So that's nice.
Okay, Summer, Anna, and Sid. Because let's be honest, Summer is definitely not okay with what's going on. Like, she
made a conscious decision to sit herself between the two.
But she was all preppy and so smiley at the...
Acting like it didn't bother her.
Yeah, but inside she was angry, she was sad. You can just say it.
Even if she well, I mean, it's a way to do things, you know, not be strong and not show weakness. If it really, you know, if she's trying to act like it didn't bother her and she's lying to herself about it, it's gonna crash down on her eventually in the future when she keeps hanging out with them and they are a couple. Or she's gonna stay, you know, I've seen situations like this in movies before where the couple is okay, or in TV shows I've seen it too, you know, where the couple is happy to be together, and they're happy to include the friend, but then the friend is always there. So they try to push the friend away, and the friend takes it as a slight, you know.
Yeah.
The friend doesn't like that at all. And it's seen as an insult, you know. So what, you know, when you don't want to be my friend anymore. It's not that. It's just that you're not part of the couple. You know, you're the third wheel. So sometimes you need to realize that. Right now she says that she's okay. I also don't believe that that's how she feels. Maybe she is lying to herself. So she acts like it's fine, and she doesn't really realize that it's not gonna be fine. But we'll have to keep a close eye on her.
Yeah.
I mean, Seth and Anna seem to be totally fine with her reaction. They didn't see anything wrong with it, and they're okay with it.
Yeah, but don't forget that Seth sometimes tends to be
completely
dense,
oblivious.
Yeah, to some stuff.
The thing is, they want to keep her as a friend, and I get that. But they might end up hurting her more doing this. So, yeah, we need to keep a close eye on this relationship and how it's going to evolve. We'll see. We'll see. Marissa and Ryan seem to be doing great, though, compared to everyone else. Ryan was obviously jealous, and it's a thing that I realized not realized, but it's a thing that was present in this episode a lot. You know, when you're in a relationship, you really need to be aware of your partner's feelings and, you know, acknowledge them and do stuff, you know, work on the situation to not only do what you want, but also try to make it easier for your partner. So Ryan being jealous and Marissa knowing it, like she should make efforts to, you know, make him realize that it's not about that. And she did, sort of. Like she basically opened the door for doing things his way. You know, you don't want to hang out, you don't want to be at the concert, let's leave. Then he also should make efforts when it comes to Marissa's lifestyle. If he's not a social guy and she is, they need to do things 50-50 because
they need to find the right balance.
Yeah. And Oliver, you know, Ryan being jealous of Oliver led to him not wanting to be with the guy, and Marissa should maybe have tried to not be too much with them, but then at the same time, Ryan cannot straight up just say, I'm not allowing you to have male friends. You know? It's complicated.
Yeah, he didn't say it like that.
No, he didn't.
He didn't say it either, but it showed that he was uncomfortable with the situation. And like you said, Marissa acknowledged it, which is totally fine. You shouldn't just brush aside your partner insecurities and what they're not okay with, you know.
And
you
talk about it.
Talk about it. Try to find a compromise, and
that's
what they sort of did. So that's fine.
In the same way, Sandy did the same thing with Kirsten. You know, he lashed out at her sister, but then he found out that Kirsten would not be okay with her sister just being left out, and you know, sent away.
It's not that she won't be okay that she was being sent away. It's because she's more scared that if she's gone, she's gonna just be more and more irresponsible.
Yeah, I know, but it's the same thing. She's not fine with her being out without a plan, which is what she has right now, no plan.
Yeah.
So it's her sister, and she needs. I mean, supporting her is part of her job as a sister. If it becomes too much, though, like she doesn't have an obligation to do it, but she seems to want to do it. She cares about her enough to want to help. So Sandy saying what needed to be said was maybe a bit harsh the way he said it, but they needed to say it because no one was okay with her just leeching off of them.
But it's true that sometimes when people don't really catch up what's going on and they don't understand what
they are the third wheel.
Not that they're third, but that they're imposing themselves in your house and your home.
But then I like that when
you need to be frank and say that as it is. Your guest, you need to respect our house.
Well, no, definitely, but I mean, there are ways to say stuff, you know, with more tact and less anger. And I like the fact that he did a strike too, that he went back and then tried again to be more gentle and to be more, you know, nice to her and have an actual conversation.
But I think that if it wasn't for that first strike, like you said, she wouldn't be open-minded to try and listen what he was trying to say.
Maybe, but then Kirsten should have tried to tell her first, which is what she agreed to.
She was doing a set. She was trying to save her feelings.
Yeah, but anyway. So in the same, you know, way, Marissa and Ryan need to talk about what makes them uncomfortable and what they expect from the other and what they want to do and stuff like that.
It's always a communication problem, right?
Well, it's not a problem because they handled it pretty well. And Sandy and Kirsten also have issues, but they always end up, you know, talking about it, and they do have great communication. But that's the thing. It always comes down to communication. If you don't want issues in your relationship, you need to talk about your issues and your feelings. So that's fine. They handled it great.
You know what? The fact that what's Kirsten's sister's name again? I forgot.
The sister.
Okay. The sister imposing herself in their house remind me when one of my late friends.
Well, she didn't impose herself. She asked and you agreed, and it's not like she was leeching off of us. She wasn't eating our food, or she wasn't...
Well, even before that, she had tendency to just leech of us. Remember when you were in a 1.5 hour...
Oh, yeah. Well, she took liberties, but not when she came to live with us. She seemed to be pretty aware that we were granting her this opportunity to, you know, settle some place where she didn't have to, you know, put her finances in order for a while. So that, and not that time, but she did leech off of me when she showed up at my door unannounced and asked to stay.
Mm-hmm.
But that's, you know, that wasn't the same situation. Some people are like that, you know, they will assume that because you are their friend, and I mean, being a friend, me personally, I would be totally fine opening my door, my house to someone. If one of my friends showed up at my door tonight and asked me to stay, I'd be totally fine with it. But then, you know, if they become too comfortable and they don't seem to have a plan to eventually get back on their feet, it starts to become, you know, alarming. Not so much because it's a hindrance, but because maybe you cannot afford to pay for someone else like that, or maybe it's just not normal for them to just live somewhere like that.
You're not supposed to be responsible for them.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. So maybe after a while it becomes alarming that they're not making a move to get out. And some people do take advantage of their friends' not gentleness, but niceness, nice attitude.
Gentleness.
Well, yeah. So, giving personality. So with the sisters, it's definitely that. Like, she's becoming way too comfortable in that house, considering that she's being rude to Kirsten and she's, you know, insulting this way of life. But then she also, you know, she's taking advantage of that way of life. So anyway, I think they did a good job with the second discussion with Sandy.
All right.
So
that was nice.
Another great episode. We're the first concert. It's like, it's emblematic. It's a tradition in a teen show.
And we will see many more.
Yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the episode. If you want to see the next one right away, it is on Patreon, or it will be very soon. Yeah. Check it out right now if you want. The link is in the description.
And if you don't wait for the next one to be out on YouTube, which will be next week, guys. So you're gonna see you then.
And if you don't wait for the next... And if you don't
wait for the next one to be out on YouTube, which will be next week.
Yes.
So see you then, guys.
Bye.
Bye.